bro.
So right out of the box, you got your monitor stand. Got the bottom piece shaped like a boomerang, the top piece. You also have your accessories, which include your display port, HDMI 2.1 cable. It's a USB to A or USB to B on wire. It goes to the back of your monitor, which powers your lighting. And also you have your power supply. Last but not least, you have your monitor. It's a very quick and easy setup. You have your bottom half, just shaped like a boomerang, attached to the other piece. You have two screws at the bottom. You can either hand tighten them or use your Phillips screwdriver. In my case, I'll be hand tightening mine because I'm not gonna be using my stand at all. I'll be attaching mine to a dual monitor mount. But I recommend that you do use the Phillips screwdriver if you're gonna actually use this. It's very easy. You take the stand, just set it in gently and until it snaps. And you don't have to apply any pressure. You don't have to apply any pressure at all. It's pretty easy. On this monitor, just like the GN950, it tilts, it pivots. You can adjust the height on it. You know, that's a very good feature for a lot of content creators who need to move their monitor. But that's mainly if you're using the stand. But like I said, in my case, I'll be using a dual monitor mount setup. First thing I noticed about this monitor, as soon as I turned it on, it had like a little backlight bleed. I mean, to me, I didn't care. Like me being a average gamer and everything, I'm not really looking for anything to be wrong with this monitor. Like I said, like this review is mainly for just people who just want to get a 4K monitor and it has a high refresh rate along with it. This is more like an investment, I guess. You can just future-proof your setup. But the backlight bleeds, not really a problem to me. You have these two buttons on the bottom, just like mainly everything's the same. It's the exact same, just like the GN950 basically. I don't see any differences really. You have your OSD here. You can change between HDMI and display ports. And loading up this monitor, I didn't have to change anything. Like all my settings was automatically on. It was automatically 4K. It was automatically already a 144 refresh rate. I know normally when you buy a monitor, you have to like make sure you change the refresh rate, so you won't be just stuck at 60 hertz or something like that. Also, I found out what this hook on the back was for. Some people, like in their reviews of the last year's model, everyone always wondered what the hook was for, but just in case you didn't know, it's just mainly for your wires. If you read the instructions, which I know a lot of people don't, it also comes with this little mouse holder. Well, it's mainly for the wire and the mouse if you use a wired mouse. Other than that, I know a lot of hardcore gamers out there like to use a wireless mouse. So it's mainly in the instructions. And it also shows the little clip on the back too. Well, not clip, but it also shows the hook on the back too, what it's used for. Loading into the game, I'm not gonna show much gameplay or whatever because this game is gonna be rendered at 1080p. You're not gonna be able to see how beautiful the visuals are, on YouTube. Loading into a game, everything is so detailed. Even in games such as Fortnite, yeah, I know, like I'm playing Fortnite right now, but like Fortnite itself is so high in detail. Like, it's supposed to be all cartoony and everything, but to see so much detail in Fortnite, it's just crazy, man. Like the 4K visuals is beautiful. You can't beat that. And the refresh rate, beautiful. If you're gonna buy a 4K monitor with a 144 refresh rate, make sure you're running something like make sure you have a GPU that's like a 3080 or a 3090. I'm not sure about 3070. I know a 3070 will push 4K, but I still recommend a 3080 to a 3090. So this monitor, you know, be targeted towards a small percentage of people. To be able to utilize that refresh rate, you're gonna really want a 3080 or 3090. Even loading into games like Horizon or Devil May Cry 5 or Resident Evil Village, loading into games like that, the 4K visuals also very high in detail. You don't have to really worry about the black levels too much. But I do not recommend this monitor for anyone who's like very competitive. If you're like a competitive Fortnite player, competitive Warzone player, competitive Apex player, I don't recommend this monitor at all. I don't recommend this to anybody who's trying to be like a Sweat or like a CSGO esports player or something like that, you know. I recommend this player more to the people who just really want 4K and also a high refresh rate. And I get it. A lot of people are more like, oh my God, Donnie, the Cyberpunk only runs like 50 frames per second in 4K. And if you are the type of person who's trying to, like, you know, sell yourself more on a refresh rate and everything, if you're so crazy about like, oh, well, I'd rather just get a 1440p monitor, 1440p 240 hertz monitor, I'd rather get that than get a 4K 144 hertz monitor. Like, let's just look at the difference. Let's look at the real difference between, you know, 144 hertz and 240 hertz. It's not really that much of a jump, like as far as like 60 hertz to 144 hertz. That's behind this very simple. Just simple division. You take one, you divide it by your refresh rate, move your decimal 3 places to the right, and there you go. You have your answer of how many milliseconds it's going to be. So, like, for a simple, quick math lesson or whatever, man, you take, like, for your 60 hertz monitor, you want to see the difference between, you want to see the jump between 60 hertz and 144 hertz. You just basically take one, divide it by 60, then move your decimal 3 places to the right, and you got 16.7 milliseconds when you round up. And for 144, take 1 divided by 144, move your decimal 3 places to the right, and then guess what? You have 6.9 milliseconds. That's like a 10 millisecond difference. Not that's a very big difference. Not that bad at all. I mean, that's something that everyone really wants. But as far as 144 to 240 hertz, 1 divided by 240, move your decimal 3 places to the right, then next thing you know, you have 4.17 milliseconds. So you take that, do what you want with it. I mean, you see it's only gonna be like a 1 millisecond, like a 2 millisecond difference between 144 hertz and 240 hertz. So wow. You take that math and give it to anybody, so you can just let them know that, hey, it's barely a difference between 144 hertz and 240 hertz. This is gonna be pointed towards a very small population of people, of gamers. If you're the type of person who want to have, you know, you just want 4K, you just really hell-bent on 4K, and you also want to have a high refresh rate along with it too to future-proof your setup, this is the monitor for you. Especially if you're running a 3080 or 3090, this would be the best thing for you. If you're not like a really competitive gamer or anything like that, if you love adventure games, you love like something like Horizon or like Resident Evil or Cyberpunk, basically, you love games like that, this is the monitor for you. But if you're like I know like a majority of people love to be, you know, love to go into like try hard mode and everything. So I would recommend getting something else. I mean, I would recommend sticking with 1080p, 1440p if you want the sweet spot as far as resolution and high refresh rate. My first impressions. This is mainly my first impressions. I'm not a tech guy. I'm not sponsored by LG. This is just my first impressions as far as this monitor. I mean, I love it. I'm amazed by it. It's very high detail. Long story short, it's probably the exact same as the GN950. What the fuck? Except for the GP950 came with the HDMI 2.1, and it caters towards, you know, the gamers who are getting the Xbox Series X or the PS5. That's what I'm seeing. So if you have a GN950, is it worth the upgrade to a GP950? No, it's not. Not at all. If you upgrade from 1440p or something, you just really want 4K, or you really want 144 refresh rate, and you don't really care that much about, you know, playing super competitive games, I'll recommend it. Like for those people who are in a 3080, 3090, and who really want 4K, those are people I recommend this monitor to. Other than that, there's really no use into getting something like this. I mean, it's a good investment for me. It's good for content creators. It's good for gamers who just want to play, like, you know, play the game in very high detail. So, you know, that's all I got.